For anyone who follows the Lord, it doesn't take long before you're confronted with the problem of evil. And the problem of evil is this, that we know God is good, that he's all-knowing and all-powerful, and yet evil exists. So either God's not evil, all good, all-knowing, or all-powerful, or God doesn't exist. That's the problem. And so then the question is, how are you going to resolve that? Because it's pretty obvious that there's sin in the world, and we experience it every day. And I answered that long time ago, until it really kind of came back to me recently. One of the things I realized that I need to split it up into two things of evil. One is natural evil, such as hurricanes and cancer and all the rest. But then there's moral evil, the stuff that people do to one another. And I want to address that today, because moral evil is something that you can actually explain. I mean, because it's people who make a decision that affects you and that hurts you. For example, if I punch you, well, I obviously made the choice to punch you. And unless God was going to strike me down before I landed the punch, it's going to hurt. And so it's not taken away. And so as we are reflecting on, okay, fine, I answer the problem of evil, but you want more than that explanation. You want to know, how do we respond? How do we respond to this mystery? And that's what happens in the first reading, where King David has King Saul dead to rights. King Saul would have been nothing without David. David was the one who took on the Philistine Goliath and defeated him when all the other Israelites were cowering. David was the one who led King Saul's armies out and won battle after battle. David was the one who defeated 100 Philistines to marry the daughter of King Saul. This and even more. And yet King Saul gets jealous and wants to kill him. So much so that he's chasing after him. King David escapes him, and King Saul is running after him. And here we are in the first reading, where he goes up, and everyone in King Saul's camp is asleep. And now he has his chance to get even. He had every right to. He was pure as driven snow. But he wouldn't harm King Saul. Not because, hey, if we don't do so well, the whole camp is going to be woken up and then we might have a battle in the middle of this camp. Not because, oh, gee, if I kill him, King Saul's son might come after me. But instead because I won't hurt the Lord's anointed. Because God has chosen him, he will not harm him. And he breaks that cycle of violence. King Saul then goes back home and never chases David again. For it is something where that forgiveness, which King David shows King Saul, is what Jesus Christ is talking about. If you're struck on one cheek, turn the other one as well. If one takes your cloak, don't withhold even your tunic. To give and give and give. To not retaliate, because to retaliate is something that we'd all like to do. Even the sinners do the same. But to forgive is something that we are called to do as Christians. And in this gospel reading it says, "Forgive as you have been forgiven." Because not only is it, I thought about it, okay, yeah, if I hit you, I made that choice, and obviously I'm not going to hit you. But what else have I done to my neighbor? What else have I done where I've maybe talked them down, talked behind their back, said hurtful words, or done something unjust? It is in that I recognize my own contribution to the sin of the world, my own contribution to the problem of evil. And the solution is to go to confession, to experience God's mercy myself. so that if I experience that salvation, then I have the grace to forgive those who do the same to me. The problem of evil is not really a problem. It's a mystery. It's a mystery that can only be responded to by forgiveness. The same forgiveness Jesus Christ showed us on the cross when he said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." That same forgiveness that I experience every time I go to confession, and the same forgiveness I give every time someone goes to confession to me. In that forgiveness, we are given the grace to be his disciples so that we can confront and respond to the problem of evil by forgiveness.